Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's UBNradio.com.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Payne.
And welcome. You are tuned into my weekly talk radio show here at the Sunset Gower Studios, broadcasting live at Universal Broadcasting Network in Hollywood, California. And then again on my syndicated news radio channel, CNBC News Radio, on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and now syndicated everywhere on iHeartRadio. So I am splattering hope and happiness anywhere you're tuning in, because this is a show that does not allow CNN constantly negative news or gossip, scandal, or K-words. No Kardashian talk at all. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So shows and topics that cover that, from Fran Drescher and Chris Wark talking about how to avoid cancer, to how to be inspired, motivational speakers and motivational best-selling authors like Don Miguel Ruiz, Neil Donald Walsh, Dr. John Gray, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, other secret teachers like Lisa Nichols. The list goes on for 260-some shows now. I have been trying to splatter hope and happiness. So if you've missed any of those and more, go on iTunes. Before I got the cameras in the studio, and then YouTube now. You can watch. It's radio that you can see and hear. And I am back from India, and I want to give a couple of great shout outs to the amazing women that I met at the Women's Economic Forum in New Delhi, India. Just flew in late last night. Dr. Harbin Arora put on an amazing 150-plus countries, powerful women, over 1,000 meeting there in the very plush and beautiful Pullman Hotel in New Delhi. And a shout-out to staff Anil, Anika, and Nitin at the 5-star hotel that really spoiled me rotten as well. I'm so grateful for the women that I met from, in my first session, I had women from over 14 different countries. It was standing room only. I got to get 2 awards because Bernie Dorman was not able to make, the visa wasn't very nice to him. So I got to do his presentation. So 2 awards, 2 presentations. And then I also got interviewed by the Business World, largest business magazine in India, as well as a documentary that I was on, and then got to do some consulting work, mixing business with business and pleasure with business with MasterCard. And then finally, my highlight was not going to the Taj Mahal, although that was beautiful, and getting to do some balanced Tai Chi Gong there. But my highlight was going to an NGO, Literacy India, underprivileged kids, and I got to teach them xie xie and peace in and peace out. And I have a little clip there. I don't know if it showed up. Yeah, here we're going to play that.
Beautiful. 谢谢.
And it was just amazing. Hundreds of kids. I had their warping young minds. I had a chance to look at every single one in the eye and tell them that they were loving, loved, and lovable, wrapped in a warm blanket of worthiness, and that they could do anything they put their heart and mind to. And that is one of my favorite things I love to do around the planet, my peace work. And they were just absolutely the highlight, and there was so much love there. I'm sure you could feel it through the camera. So I'm going to give more shout-outs at the end of the show during my balance bar with people that I got to meet, and that's one of the joys of traveling. And I would like to also, Sukriya and Dhanyavad, I'm teaching you right now, is Indian for thank you. I had one of the best massages in my life from Balji on Mother's Day. And I did also, if I get a chance, want to read my Mother's Day poem from my beautiful daughter as well. I think that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and now introduce two fabulous women, beautiful inside and out, who are part of my CEO Space International family. And those of you who missed Bernie Dorman, who's the founder, and September, his wife, who's the chairman, CEO, and president of this #1 business conference, rated by Forbes and Inc. magazine for 2 years in a row, then you'll have to go see that. But I did, one of the best things is meeting like-minded, love-hearted people. And Morgana Starr is the famed author of Angel Whispers, A Journey into the World of the Earth's Oldest Guardians book, and Angel's Legacy. Morgana teaches psychic development classes in Florida and has several meditation CDs, MP3s, and personal sessions by phone and internet to help and assist you on your spiritual path. Daena Deva is also a psychic medium and an angel connector. People seek data for many reasons, like life guidance, spiritual journey, guided meditation, angel channeling, past life reading, and chakra readings. Daena works closely with her friend and spiritual mentor, Morgana Starr, and is the vice president of Seraphim Voices, Inc. Together, they are the founders of Angel's Oasis, a retreat facility for those seeking spiritual refreshment. Please welcome, without further ado, my two beautiful angels in person, Daena and Morgana.
Yay! Hi, Dr. Marissa.
So glad to be on here.
Yes, we are.
Yes, so glad to have you on. So let's start with the moose on the table. How do you, that's my Canadian version of the elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room, I love it.
Yes, yes. This is, so for those of you, I have listeners who are very inclined to believing in angels. And then because I have a large business audience, I have some that are a little more skeptical of woo-woo. And so they all smile when I do my woo-woo shows. Yes, this is going to be a woo-woo show. This is your woo-woo alert. And I'm a reluctant woo-woo, but I am as well. So how do you know that angels even exist on Earth?
That's a great question. And, I think angel is a really loose term. So you will find many different beliefs around angels. Of course, there's angels that are depicted in the Bible and even across other ancient religions. My specific definition is just really any kind of higher being from the upper dimensions, which even scientifically we've been able to prove there's a lot of dimensions that are greater than this one. And angels are really multi-dimensional beings, so they can exist in multiple places at once, which is also proven through quantum physics.
Okay.
And the study of that. So we try to bridge the gap between the woo-woo and the scientific, and we work with a lot of different teachers that cover various aspects, like the study of crystals and how they relate to our energy and our vibration. We have some beautiful, beautiful experts that help bring and tie in the scientific aspects too. So even though it may be considered woo-woo by some now, it'll be common day scientific study in 20 years.
Yes.
Well, I think the reason that they've been thought of as woo-woo is because people date that to religion. And they'll go back into the Bible, and they don't realize that angels have been here since this world was created and actually had a part in helping develop the free will of mankind. If you go back into the ancient Sumerian legends and myths, you'll find a lot of interesting stories about the angelic beings. And it kind of goes through history.
Right. Egypt and all the different other beings that came in with animal heads and alien even looking. So a lot of people believe angels are aliens, which we're probably not going to disagree with them.
Well, and to me, the bottom line is the proof's in the pudding. If they help us, great.
Thank you.
If they don't, I don't care.
Thank you. That's the best bottom line right there. There's always going to be people who, what is that word? They debunk, or what do you call it? They don't believe anything, the cynics, the skeptics. And for me, it's exactly what you just said, Morgana. If it works for you and is helping you and makes you feel better about your life and life, then why judge it? And if it doesn't, then leave it. But if it does work for you, and I'm guessing because you have a very successful center in Florida and people do come to you, what are some of the kinds of things that Angel Connection have been able to help people with?
I think number one thing is empowerment, because in today's world, and I would say mostly women, but it's not all women. I have a lot of male clients as well that have been disempowered through their work or their relationships. And we have a way of helping them. And like she said, they're multidimensional, so they can work with several different people, to an angelic infusion that we do with people, where we bring the energy of the angel inside a person to shift and transform and empower their life. And as an example of that, I have one client that years ago had come in and gotten that infusion. She said she went home and her husband started to yell at her. She said, like he always did every day of her life. And she said, so she just took a breath and she let that angelic energy come in. And she said, within a few minutes, he started to apologize. And he apologized on into the next day. She said in 14 years of marriage, he had never apologized ever before.
Wow.
So if it's going to change the vibration around you into one of peace, that's what we need in this world right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, can you sense angels around you, and what does that feel like?
It's really an interesting thing, because a lot of us do have intuitive gifts. It's just, through childhood and the current structure we're in, people learn to shut them down or become disconnected. So really through meditation, that's kind of what opens you up again. And even Reiki, learning how to facilitate a healing energy will open you. And then when I sense an angel, they're very powerful. And when they're nearby, it does feel a presence of very strong support, but also power. And it can be intimidating to certain people depending on how open they are.
Okay.
Even like my Archangel, I call him mine. He's not mine. He's the world's.
But he likes you.
He does. He loves me. Archangel Azrael, who is the angel of death and transition, which may be frightening to some. And he is even depicted as like the Grim Reaper with the big hood and the.
Well, he shows up that way to people sometimes.
He does.
And with red eyes,
But
so go figure.
He's comforting for most. And he really is the being that escorts the soul when they leave the body to the other side. So they have a safe transit between the worlds and they get to where they're supposed to be going. So when he comes in, he's very no nonsense. He doesn't particularly always have nice things to say. So there are times where I have to kind of filter myself, because
and sometimes she doesn't.
Yeah, well, sometimes I don't. Yes, that's true. But he's very fed up with a lot of the current structures and really wants to help those that are ready to change the structures on the planet to be more supportive towards humans.
And that's the transition. So it's not always a transition into death. It's a transition into a new way of thinking, a new way of life, a new way of embracing your humanity and getting your free will back.
Absolutely.
Great.
And he is also about holding up the feminine divine. And that's how Daena and I got together. And our partnership is so strong because the angel I work with is Anel. And a lot of people go Google her right away. And I'll tell you right now what you're going to read on Google, unless it was something written by me, it probably won't be as true to what this angel is. She carries that feminine aspect of the God source. And she's very protective over people that have lost their way and are disempowered. And she comes in like a powerhouse.
She does. And she's very hot. And
That's why I got my
when
fan.
Morgana starts channeling Anel, I have to kind of scoot away a little bit because I just start drenched in sweat. So she's a very strong healing angel as well.
Yeah, the healing that she has done has just been incredible. And we have some of those on our website. But it's about transforming lives. I mean, even down to one lady coming and seeing me, and afterwards, just 20 minutes. She could sleep all night, had no pain, and the doctor couldn't operate because her tumor was gone.
Interesting, interesting. So, if you've just tuned in, and if you're thinking there's a little woo woo, there is. We're talking about angels today because I want to talk about anything that increases your happiness factor. And for many people, understanding that there's more to life than what we can just see with our eyes and hear with our ears is very helpful. So you are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa. My two beautiful guests today are Morgana, Starr, and Daena, Deva. Am I saying that all
very
right?
good.
Deva. And we're talking about angels. So does everyone have their own angel? You just mentioned you have the hot one and you have the dark one.
Yeah.
So does everyone have their own angel? Can you have more than one?
Does have a guardian angel.
Everyone has a guardian angel. Okay.
Yes. And they're usually not archangels, but everyone has the ability to tap into both the angels that we work with and to other archangels as well.
Okay. What's the difference between an angel and an archangel?
I best describe it as like a general in the army.
Okay.
So the archangels are the highest arcs, or the highest general in the army. Okay. And otherwise, you got the lieutenants, sergeants, privates,
Yes. Oh, well, why would you want to have anything but a general?
I know.
If you're going to have an angel.
Yes and no. Because if you have a general as an angel, that means you're going to be working your butt off trying to change humanity.
Okay. So there's more work to do the higher up you go. All right.
True.
So how do people find out what their archangel or their angel or guardian angel?
I actually, just from my personal experience, found out through my Reiki 2 attunement.
Okay. And for those of you who don't know what Reiki is
an unconditional love energy that you become attuned to through a Japanese tradition. And you basically become attuned to this energy, which tunes you into the higher forces. Mm-hmm. And you learn how to facilitate self-healing, and eventually then learn how to facilitate healing for others, which level 2 is the beginning of learning how to facilitate healing for others. And that's when Azrael came in a guided meditation and introduced himself to me.
And what did he say? Hi, my name's Ariel.
He actually came to me and showed me his different faces, and he was communicating with me telepathically, because when you're an arc, you don't really need words or voice.
Okay.
They're just transmitting signals to your brain.
Okay.
And I basically got to see all of the different faces that he uses on the planet. And he told me he's been with me throughout time and many different lifetimes. And we still had lots of work to do. And then he picked me up and flung me into outer space. So,
so did you feel like weird, or like you'd lost your mind, or you'd already been sort of tuned in?
You'd already lost your mind.
Oh, okay.
I did already lose my mind. And I would also say, too, I had no idea about angels. I had no plan on working with angels. I didn't even really know I was a psychic medium at that point. And
what were you doing? What were you doing? Just curious.
I was working in banking, actually. Yep.
There's the contrast. All right. You go from numbers to numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers of faces.
Geometry.
Wow. So okay. And Morgana, how did you meet your guardian angel?
Well, I had been doing this work and working with a lot of the goddess energy. I was raised as a missionary's child in Africa, and then when I moved here, did the Christian routine. Again, Reiki is the one that pulled me out of some of the illnesses that I had, and really popped open that third eye. But then I went into Native American. I went into a lot of the other religions, and all of that came together about 9 years ago, right before I moved to Florida. And the angel came in really strong and said she was the combination of all the goddesses that I had worked with. all
Okay.
the sacred mothers. And, you kind of see in the background, I've got Mother Mary there too. So all of that, the Sophia and all of the goddesses
Okay.
together, the feminine, divine.
So
So
you
I've been meditating for a while, so it was easy. I go in and out of my body. Well, I have been since I've been a kid. So
you
I
have had
consulting.
you've had a collection of experiences, Eastern, Western, Northern, Southern, all the
Right.
influences. So you were kind of open and ready
Right.
to
Yeah.
hear this. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'd been in, we used to have a sweat lodge in our backyard. I've been to as a supporter for Sundance and Native American pipe carriers. So there was a lot of spirituality there too. And I just saw how it all intermingled.
Okay. Now,
Which,
you said third chakra. I want to go back for just a second. Some people don't know what the chakras are. Could you just give what is a chakra and what is the third chakra in particular?
So, of course, chakras are basically just energy vortexes in the body.
Okay.
And they each stand for a specific aspect of our being.
Okay.
So, your third chakra is actually located in your diaphragm, right below your lungs.
in your tummy.
In your tummy, which is your power center. So, your solar plexus is where you emit your true being. Who are you? What is the truth of who you are? And how do you project that out into the world? And how do you affect your surroundings? So when you have a very strong third chakra, that means you're a powerful being and people are paying attention to you. You're an influencer of sorts.
Great.
But back to explaining about chakras a little more, most people have heard of auras.
Yes.
Or, when you get in my space, so to speak, the chakras create that. And Kirlian photography that has been used by the armed forces for years can actually take pictures of people's aura.
Yes.
And that is, the chakras create that.
Interesting. I didn't know that link. I've actually had an aura picture taken, and I didn't bring it to. And I've actually had it 3 years in a row, and every time it's the same. You tell me what it means. So there's yellow, and then there's white, and then there's violet, and then there's dark blue around my ears with little white spots. And I'll tell you what they told me after you tell me what that says. And every single time
I love it.
is
Metatron
exactly
speaking
the
too.
same. So what does that tell you about me?
What I heard right away with the blue around your ears, that's Metatron, Archangel Metatron, and he is speaking to you. And the white is angelic.
Okay. So
Of course, your purple's all that psychic ability, being women's intuition. That's all psychic ability is. Just heightened and trained. That's why we train people how to do it the right way.
Right. Daena,
Absolutely.
anything
The
to add?
yellow's just joy.
Yeah, to me, it's all real high vibrational colors. So you're an evolved soul, which we already know. We've connected. This is no surprise, and I'm sure all of your listeners connect with this as well. But it's really your calling. And when you have the ears, it's not just that you're a speaker. It's also that you can hear the higher dimensions, and you've really refined your ability to truly listen to your guardians and your guides.
What? No.
But here's another cool thing about the angels. I've
Yes.
had my aura picture taken a lot. The last time I had it taken, I wasn't happy with the situation of the person taking it. And I sat down and I could hear my angel say, "I will make you red." I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "I will make you red." I'm thinking, well, that'll be interesting because mine are usually white and blue or purple. It was red.
Oh,
You couldn't
interesting.
even see me. It was red. I confused the heck out of that person, and I'm just laughing on the inside. Like, okay,
Right.
angels have a sense of humor. I don't
Right.
get it
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But time to time, because we may act like we just believe anything we're told, I test the angels. And if they're not bringing good, communication, if they're not helping us be empowered or free will, then they're the side that we don't want to talk to.
So that brings me to the question, are there bad angels?
Yes, there are.
Yeah,
There are,
well,
okay.
it's interesting because, if you like to think of the term as an angel as a helper or someone that really is fighting for humanity, right, and wants us to have free will, then you really wouldn't look at an angel and say, oh, it's a bad one. But there really are beings out there that don't necessarily have the best interest of humanity.
Okay.
and would prefer us to rather be more like slaves or cattle to them.
Okay.
They feed off of our energy of
Yes.
fear.
Yes, fear and manipulation.
Those beings are able to do that. Even the angels we work with
That sounds
are
like
able to do that.
like the media.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And
Ding, ding, ding.
they, but our angels are like, no, 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 no. They are sentient beings. We love them. We're helping them. We want them to have free will. We will find our energy elsewhere.
So
Right.
so there may not call them bad angels, because angels are inherently helpful and
Yes.
wanting the. So there's maybe other names for that, just
Yes,
not
other
not an angel,
forces.
other forces. So darker forces maybe
Yes.
The
would
bad
be a
ones.
better, a bad. No judgment there. The,
The naughty ones.
non-helpful. How's that? The non-uplifting, the non-helpful. And so I actually, and this is the reluctant woo-woo person talking here, I actually had a friend who had Haniel. Does that sound like us?
Haniel,
Haniel. And I'm like, oh yeah, right. You have an angel. And I said, then after a little while, I said, so how did you find out? And she said, oh, I just wrote on a piece of paper, who is my guardian angel, and put it under my pillow. And then that night I had a dream and he introduced himself, and I'm like, yeah, right. And so another month goes by, and I guess I must have been bored or something. So I put that question under my pillow, and sure enough, I had a dream of this beautiful Chinese, of course, woman with white a gown and a red vest. And I had no idea who she was, and I explained to her, and she goes, "Oh, that's Kuan Yin." And so, like, not very evolved spiritual person I was at the time, I didn't know who Kuan Yin was. And so I Googled her, looked her up, and I was like, wow, this is one powerful avatar guardian angel. And I thought that was kind of cool. And so then I started, listening to information about her, and trying to listen for the voice. And then my skeptic, my scientist PhD kicked in, and I'm like, that really, I'm making things up. I'm making MSU, making shiitake up. This really can't be. If it's true, prove it to me. And so, sure enough, I went into Alice's Quiet Mind bookstore at Agave International Spiritual Center that carries my DVD on balanced Tai Chi Gong. They had just rearranged and made it, upgraded the bookstore. And I go look for my DVD, and right above it, on the top of the counter, was a book about Kuan Yin. And I went, okay, fine. So I've been seeing her in and out of my meditations. And again, if you're like, oh, this is way too beyond, I have to tell you, the more open you are to friendly forces or friendly entities or friendly anything in your life, it will improve the quality of your life. And whether you have proof or not, the power of belief, and belief is just a thought that you're thinking, Esther Hicks, thank you. And the more that you want to improve your life and the way you feel about yourself and others and life itself, the more you will hear. This radio show is a direct result of that audio clarion dark blue that you saw, because the voice said radio. Never in a million years, like you not ever thinking you'd be doing what you're doing, that I would be doing radio.
Wow.
There's so many examples that I may not talk about openly on the show, but I can tell you that since I have been, and it starts with an openness to say, okay, prove it, or maybe there is, or I'm open to it. And then I promise you will begin to experience that we're not alone. We're not here just to, go after the nice car, the nice house, and retirement, which is boring, and travel 2 weeks a year. That's not what life's about. So if you can be open enough and invite people like Morgana and Daena into your life, you might actually experience things that you never thought would have happen, which is my segue into doing a little commercial for them. So I will. We can't have this show without beautiful sponsors. If you are interested in being a sponsor for this show about hope and happiness, please do contact me. But we'll be back after the sponsor break in 2 and 2. Peace in and peace out. Do you believe in angels? Would you like to have a relationship with your own guardian angel? Then work with Morgana Starr, famed author of Angel Whispers and the founder of Angels Oasis in historic Cocoa Village, Florida. Contact Morgana and Daena at 321-506-1143 to assist you on your spiritual path to heaven on earth. That's 321-506-1143 with Daena and Morgana. All righty. That's pretty cool music. Thank you, Purple Planet Music, for that. And welcome back to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at noon out of the Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, California with Universal Broadcasting Network, and then every Thursday on my CNBC News Radio channel, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, 102.3, and everywhere on iHeartRadio. And today we are blessed with two beautiful angels on earth who are actually connected to the angel realm, who help people all around the world through their Angel Oasis place in Florida, in Cocoa Beach, and they are here to tell us and to connect us with the angels that are all around you. So if people are interested, how do they get a hold of you, and what do you offer for them? So let's start with people who want more from their life, and they are feeling depressed, and there's no hope. And I met a few of those at the Women's Economic Forum. The one in particular, there's just absolutely no reason to live anymore. They've estranged their family, they've estranged their husband, and they call you. What can they hope for from speaking with you?
Well, they can hope for just that word, hope, and peace. Even down to, I wanted to mention, one of my clients is an engineer out at NASA. And he said that with working with me helped him get a higher performance at work and dealing with people, because he had a hard time dealing with people until he started working with me.
So is the angel like an advisor that you are the physical voice that you mentioned, channeled before? That word for some may not be. So you're just speaking their words to them through you. Is that about it?
And Daena and I are always surprised what comes out. I mean, sometimes we'll lay out an entire business plan for somebody, or how they can switch some things in their life. And of course, we always tell them, don't expect us to remember it, because it is coming right through it. It's not our message, it's yours.
Yes. And it's interesting. People, if they're trying to play with their own intuitive gifts, it's really, if it's not something that you would normally say, or if you're getting information that you have no education in. I mean, today I did a reading for a woman this morning, and I learned all about astrology through her great grandmother who came through that I was channeling for her. And it was like, so it's not just angels that we work with. We also worked with the loved ones on the other side.
Did you write it down? Did you remember it?
She wrote it down as I was talking. Because she told me about the planets conjunct, and Jupiter is in some pattern for 3 years, and I had no idea. But the woman was versed in astrology because her great grandmother taught her. Yeah. And so it was this huge connection, and I'm just like, I have no idea what's going on here. I'm just going to tell you what I'm hearing.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw you into a spot here. I didn't warn you about this. Just can you just sort of go into your state now and say what maybe someone is thinking about or needing right now that's out listening, or something for me, because it's all about me, it's my show. That's right. Something maybe that I need to hear, just so I can see you in action and see your angels in action.
That's wonderful. Do you want to take this?
Yeah, what I'm getting, and a lot of times my angel talks very quietly, so I'll try to be louder. there's a lot of people that are just searching for love, and they're looking for the relationship that they want and forgetting the relationship that they need for themselves. It's choking their voice. It's choking their heart. They're getting health problems because they're giving out to people that are just draining them dry in relationships. And I'm talking about not just romantic relationships, but it carries over into work, into girlfriends, that
Family.
that are users.
Okay.
And there's a lot of family that are blood family that people keep trying to make that so important when it's not. A soul family. I'm closer to Daena as a daughter friend than I am my own blood family. So this is what a lot of letting go. You gotta let go. There's all these blessings that were. Okay, so here's this Kleenex in my hand, and I'm holding it so tight because it's so wonderful. But I want to hold this beautiful fan, but I can't hold it until I let go of that. Then I'm given this.
So
There's
let
a
go.
lot of good things going to happen for a lot of people this year if they'll just let go.
Okay. Let go and let the good happen. Beautiful. And what about me?
So it's interesting for you. There's a whole lot of new avenues opening for you. I'm seeing about 6 right now.
Yeah.
So you are like the circus act with all the plates spinning in the air, and somehow you're trying to manage all of these plates without crashing. And so your team really has to expand. And you're going to be hiring a few very important people that work very closely and intimately with you, which I feel is actually a fear on your end, because you're Miss Independent Woman. You're the girl who's got it all. You got your stuff together, and it's very hard to allow someone else in when we have so much control over our lives, which this one embodies that greatly. It took me many years to break through her bounds.
My control issues have control issues.
Yes, they do.
I'm a recovering
so-
control freak. What are you talking about?
I'm
You say
totally-
control like it's a bad thing.
Right? I know. How dare I?
Yes.
How dare the angels call you out?
Yeah, I'm busted.
Yeah, so they really want you to open your heart more and really let some people close, like really close, like intimately close, which I feel you're ready for. Your heart is ready. Your heart is like fertile ground right now. And it's just like, allow those seeds to be planted, and it's all just going to come up beautifully for you. By December this year, you will be in a completely different place, especially financially. It's more than what you're expecting at this point. So please just hold out for the miracles, because it's coming
like
for you.
that.
They're afraid of you signing over some rights to something that they want you to step back and think about a little bit longer. I feel like somebody may even be pushing you at this point.
Interesting.
And your guides are coming in and stopping you and saying, hold on just a minute.
It's
Just give yourself a
interesting.
week or 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've got 3 interested publishers in the book 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And I have this feeling that I should maintain the rights because it's going to be a very important book, and not which is like so contrary. You know, you think as an author and as a writer, you want publishers to take your book on, and for the first time it's so like, no, self-publish, because then you have the control and the rights, and publishers are like having their percentage now. So it's really interesting that you should say that, because I just got another email.
I got chills the whole
I
time.
wish you could see my arm hairs, because they're all standing on end. So that's your angel's validation of saying you're 1,000% correct. Hang on to your sovereign rights. It's beyond just even this book.
Yeah.
They're fighting for something even greater than what you realize in another level.
Wow.
And they're going to slowly make you aware of it, not to overwhelm you, but bring you into, it's like you're in like the warrior phase. You're like going up to this next level, and you're going to be fighting some very interesting spiritual battles, but in a very peaceful way. You're going to be doing it through energy and meditation.
Yes.
Well, that's Kuan Yin energy around you.
Yeah.
So that'll be good.
Cool. Very cool. Very cool. So, so you have a center, And this is, do people have to come to your center? Can they work with you remotely, or how
We
does that
do
work?
a lot remotely, all the way down to doing email readings that I'm always amazed how spot on they are. I'm like, did I just make that up? Because I just let the angels type it. And the people come back and they're thrilled with what the direction, and some of them all the way down to not killing themselves because of the message. So yeah, we work with that, phone, Skype.
Facebook Messenger.
Yes.
All of the above.
We have a YouTube channel, and we're beginning to put out more things for our institute, which is a self-help,
self-development, which will be very similar to like a University of Phoenix, where we have a lot of online curriculum and just a huge realm, not just the crazy woo-woo psychic realm. It'll be, meditation, energy medicine,
but
crystals.
It'll also be, those are all woo-woo. She's so woo-woo. She doesn't know what she's talking about. So it will also be how to make those daily changes in your life so that you can be better at work, you can be better at relationships with your kids and your spouse, and your friends. So there's going to be we're bringing in a wealth of really amazing professors to
like me
do this, like you bet. And one thing I want everybody to know, that if you go to our website, you will, and sign up for our email, you will get a little free gift. But if you want to email Morgana at morganastarr.com, and that's Starr with 2 R's, and ask for your free angel ebook. And we will send you an angel ebook that will explain a little bit about angels and give you 3 simple ways to connect with your angel.
Beautiful.
And I think people will find that very helpful.
Yes, just for Dr. Marissa listeners today. That's awesome. That's awesome. And so you also have an Asian Oprah giveaway today. And yay! And let me see if I have it on here. 2 readings, one with Morgana and one with Daena. So you have your choice. And if it's one is a half an hour reading from Morgana, $135 value, and an hour reading from Daena, which is an $80 value. Teacher and student, but I'm sure they're both.
Well, actually, my hour prices are $150. So if they can have an hour, since you changed it to that, that's great. I'll give away an hour to somebody.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. So $250 and $150 is the Asian Oprah giveaway today. So the first person to go to the number 4balance.org and put in angel in the subject line will get, actually the first 2 people will get a reading with my angel channelers here on the air. So the last thing I always like to do is to ask you, who are you grateful to, each one of you, that you would like to give a peace in, peace out shout out to on the air. So someone who has backed you up and provided you with the love that you share so freely.
Yes, actually, Morgana has a beautiful person.
Ernest,
hold it up closer.
Oh, I'll hold it up closer here. Ernest, too. He has helped us so much as a counsel, like a spiritual counsel, because he is a spiritual minister, and just believing in us. And the message of the angels.
That's great.
So you should get his book too.
Yes, and that's a small world, because I was told to read that book 5 years ago by Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, and I did, and I loved it. And I said to myself, that was the year I started the show, I said, oh, he'd be interesting to have on the show. And then I sort of lost that thought. And then today I find out that you guys are connected. So I know it's going to happen. So that's beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for helping me and my listeners understand more about angels. Thank you for being the conduits to the good in the world. I'd like to give you both my Beneficial Presence on the Planet with Dr. Marissa award, because I know you give so much. And I have to say, Daena herself helped me immensely the last time I was at CO Space to release some of the last bits of anger that were getting in the way of my forgiveness of a certain person in my life, also known as the husband. It was really a wonderful exercise. So thank you both for being positive, beautiful, healing influences in my life. I wish you all the best, peace, prosperity, and more. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh,
thank
we
you.
love it. It's our
Love you.
honor.
All right. And that's it for today in Angels. We're going to close at the end with the traditional balance bar, where I invite you to join me and balance. Today is day 16 on round 71 of the 21-day fast from complaining. So it is, what are the benefits of not complaining? If you focus on the payoff, you might want to complain less. I know that eating a compliment leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but I can restore my kissability by rinsing with gratitude. And if you haven't already joined the fast, it's not too late. Go to drmarissa.tv, sign up there. And if you do make 21 days in a row, you do get a gift. And please do get the 99-cent app on both stores, made by teenagers to help you not complain. I also tried to convert some people on the way to India. Our flight got diverted because of a typhoon, and we ended up spending 7 hours in the plane on a tarmac in Shenzhen. And the people working on China Southern were wonderful and beautiful and very helpful. So I wanted to give a peace shout out to some of the people that I met and converted to the fast, starting with Jason Owens, Judith Anapanuka, and then Monica Wang, Jonathan Nook, and Michael Chang. Also, travelers Lily and David on the plane countdown game that I taught them. I also made them play Monopoly. And then Sarah and Aaron from Colorado were also wonderful plane mates for me. And then a special shout out to Michelle and Serena, peace and peace out, for doing a great job on China Southern flight. I will be teaching after I go to Sedona this week and the following week to the Agave Spring Meditation Retreat. You cannot join me. It is sold out, but the Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith does it every year, so you'll have to join us then. Next week, we are having the high performance coach, Dave Austin, founder of Extreme Focus, who has coached some of the most elite athletes around the world. You'll recognize the names when you come on next week to tune in, and he's going to help us with that extreme focus. If you're someone who wants to do better with what you have or want to get into training, you're done with the goal so far, and maybe you want to run that marathon or do any kind of new activity, he is here to help us with that: the mind, the body, the spirit, and the soul. So that's Dave Austin. Another CEO Space connection. He's on faculty there. And join me on faculty. I did forget to mention, if you would like to sign up at CEO Space International, several people have already done so as a result of the show with Bernie in September. Just go to ceospaceinternational.com/Dr. Marissa, and you'll get the special rate. So I will be actually keynoting and speaking at the conference August 1st to 5th. So please do join me there. And that's it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. To take my advice, I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa Pay. That's P for positive, EI. And remember, it's about balance. Peace in and peace out.
Take away the part of me that wants to stay. It's all I want, to hear my life and sing along. For without it, there's no laughter, no tears, the lonely days after, no memories for along the way. You know, strangers even hear me sing and stop to say, I can see the life you're living through the windows of your singing. Please play another melody for me. Just let me sing, let me laugh, let me cry. Don't take my songs away, they have so much to say. 'Cause music is my life, it's how I show the world what life really means to me. But you don't understand just what my music means to me. And you know you never cared enough to try at all to see that every word has meaning, part of everything that I am, part of everything I ever want to be. Just let me sing, let me laugh, let me cry. Don't take my songs away, they have so much to say. 'Cause music is my life, it's how I show the world what life, oh, what life means to me. Let me sing, oh, let me sing.